I am sitting here in the dark. Do not adjust your monitors or your TVs. It is pitch black here at 2 a.m. for that matter, because sometimes the power goes out. And a lot of times the power just goes out for a couple hours. There's a thunderstorm and you're without power for a couple hours. Not a big deal, you can get by. But sometimes, think Katrina, think Sandy, think the wind ice storm that we had here last year, where people were without power for a week or more in some cases. And that can be a problem, especially in the winter here where the sun goes down at 5 o'clock and you're without light for half the day. And you need to get by for extended periods of time without light. Well, what do? Well, the average person will have some candles. And you can light up some candles. And it creates a nice, warm, glow, inviting. In this case, it will make the room smell like vanilla cupcake. Yep. And it's nice. It's a nice light. But there's places where candles are not ideal. They're not ideal for really long periods of time. They're not ideal where there's places that are going to be a fire hazard, in a tent. There's just places where they're not ideal. Carrying them around, they'll go out. So there's places where candles just don't work well, and you're going to want a different option. So we'll get rid of the candles. What's another option? How about a flashlight? You can get a light that you can tail stand, like this Phoenix PD31. Put it on the table. If you have a white ceiling to bounce it off of, it can work pretty well. And it can make the room really nice and bright. You put it up on turbo mode, 300 lumens, super bright. But it's going to do 300 lumens for 2 hours. You can get by with it on the dimmer modes, and it's light enough for the room. But there's situations where a flashlight bouncing off the ceiling is not going to work, either if you don't have a ceiling, if you're camping, or if you don't have a white ceiling. Maybe you have a dark wooden ceiling. It's not going to work as well. So how about a third option? That being the point of this video. That option being a lantern. In this case, the Rayovac Sportsman's lantern. Two options for this: the regular one, which is 240 ANSI lumens, and the extreme 300 lumens. It has a couple of modes. The high mode on this 240 lumens, press it down, it'll go into a lower output, which is of a mystery. It's a secret. They don't tell you how bright it is. But it will do the high output for 40 hours. This lower output it does for 90 hours. And then if you hold the button down, it will go into a strobe in case you need to signal someone. So this is a nice option. It's really bright. It lights up the entire room. You could do really anything you wanted with it. There's a handle on top here. If you need to carry it around, you're going through the woods, you're going through your house, you can carry it. If you want a little bit more diffuse light, this top comes off to expose the head there. And also, if you need to mount this on the ceiling, there is a hook that you can take. You can hang it by the hook, hang it from the top of your tent, hang it from a porch, and you get a nice wide area of lighting there. So a lantern like this is really nice in a lot of situations. Put the top back on. It's very handy. So I just wanted to throw that out here at the beginning of the video. I will take it up to the table, do a little bit of tabletop review, show it to you in the light, give you a little more of the specs and the features of it so you can see it. Here's more of a tabletop review of this light to give you a look at it in the light, so to speak. And it is quite small, as you can see, about 7.5 inches tall by 3.5 across. It is square, and it is small and compact, 12 ounces without the batteries. Speaking of batteries, it is powered by 3 D-cell batteries here. They go in the bottom, fit right in there. Some people have complained that the bottom here is a little bit hard to get on rather. The way you do it is there is a little arrow there, there's an arrow there. You just align those, and it actually goes on very easy. On the bottom here is that hook. If you want to hook that up and hook it by the top of the tent or whatever you're holding mounted on there. On the top there is the carry handle. And then on the front here, there is the on-off switch. Has 3 levels, like I said, on to 240 lumens. And then to go lower, you need to go on and then down to low right away. So on and then down to the lower output. And then to get to the strobe, you just hold it down for a couple seconds and it will go into that strobe mode. The top comes off like this to expose the LEDs with a little dome over them there. And you can turn them on. And again, if you want it, this would be a good place where you could mount it or hang it from the top of a tent or something in the ceiling, or if you're even out on a patio, and you could mount, and and light a much more diffuse area from above. So handy there. And you put this back on, kind of locks right into place. But that is about it. $29. It is a handy little lantern. One other thing here, there's a little LED here, and if you watch it for a while, that will flash every 5 seconds while the light is off, to just so you can help find it in the dark, apparently. One of the problems is that, at least on this one, the LED in there is mounted up higher. So if you're looking at it from this angle, you can see it. But if you're looking at it from even this angle, you can't see it because it's kind of up high in there. It's not a big deal. You know, how much you'd use that, I don't know. But in the dark, it could be useful for finding the light. So there you have it, the Rayovac Sportsman's Lantern. Great little lantern for $29. Check one out.